of Dirt Series 358 modifieds as they'll be taking the white flag this time by.
Look at how bright the track.
Well, that's it. It's featured time here for the 358 modifieds with the King of Dirt Series as we get ready to go. 40 laps here in the Victoria, 2x2. Matt DeLorenzo, Ryan Susice, your front row race fans as they get ready to go green. As they do, I gotta ask you, ladies and gentlemen, who's it gonna be? And first time into turns 1 and 2, Matt DeLorenzo, he just pushed like a bulldozer, pushing dirt up the racing surface. That opened the door for Jessey Mueller to take the advantage. Susice right there with him into turns 3 and 4. It's Jessey Mueller, Ryan Susice, Matt DeLorenzo. Well, we've got one around. That is Jason Herrington. The 24 of Sweet into him. Bobby Varin involved. Drellos there as well. A whole cluster of cars together in turn number 4, and caution lights are on.
Now Tyler Meeks over there. He's down low with Drellos. Up high, driving away is Mike Sabia. And Bobby Varin's over there. Going around is the Herrington, the Flying Farmer Machine. And driving away from the scene is the 24 of Brandon Sweet.
All right, we're taking it, Jerry.
So, multi-car pile-up on the first lap over there in turns 3 and 4.
Front end damage to the number 111. So jump break for the driver out of Queensbury, New York, as he gets the hook back to the pit area.
McCreadie. Okay. A lot of new cars we haven't seen before, Mike, tonight.
There are a lot of different drivers here, which is neat for a event like this. I like this.
I love it. Yep.
It's a lot of different faces, different names in the field for this event. And again, the 358's back with us as part of the Night of Legends, and also we will be the official kickoff to Super Dirt Week 2017 here at the Utica Speedway, and we'll have the 358 Dirt Car Series here with us, so you'll see a few of these names back in action, and a few of them taking, tonight and the next night to shake down their cars and get used to the different surface here at the Utica Speedway that they may not see at their weekly home track.
I do not tolerate brake checks. If I see that again, someone goes to the rear.
So here we go, 2x2, field ready to come back to it, into 3 and 4. Jessey Mueller on the loud pedal, and we are racing here on the front straightaway as Ryan Susice trying to cross up Jessey Mueller into turn number 1. Mueller leaves just a slight door open. Susice can't get down there. Mike Mahaney through the middle. He's trying to get a run. He's to the outside of the 87 of Stratton, side by side, and we are yellow.
Bad start. They were brake checking. I think that's he called for brake check.
So no start the call.
You can see the games that were being played with the field out there. A lot of guys were brake checking them. They're going down back into turn number 3 and between 3 and 4. And it wasn't just like in one place. It was throughout the pack. And sometimes that's like an accordion or a domino effect. But it wasn't acceptable, put it that way.
I don't usually call it yellow right away. I let them get through the turn at least. Oh, yeah.
So here we go. We try it again in this 40-lapper. No laps taken on that one. So we will get back to it here another time. Jessey Mueller and Ryan Susice. I'll tell you what, Susice had a good restart there, able to get a run. He almost snuck underneath Mueller going into turn 1. Ryan Susice, if you don't know much about him, regular out in Western New York, competes weekly at the Ransomville Speedway and the Merrittville Speedway. He was here actually last week in a 360 sprint car, and he is a former Ransomville Speedway track champion. And he's got another hot shoe right behind him, multi-time winner this season, Erick Rudolph. So here we go, Jessey Mueller and the number 19 in the 19. And here we go back to green on the front stretch, and Mueller did not get a good start that time. Susice is going to try to rule the outside of him into turn number 1. Side by side, they race for the lead, and now Mueller gets the run off of corner number 2, and now Anthony Perrego on the charge in the 44.
Yeah, DeLorenzo also in contention right there. It's Crowder at the front of the field. Coming off the complete lap number 2, it continues to be Jessey Mueller leading the way.
So Mueller leads the way over Ryan Susice as they go into turn number 1. Erick Rudolph works the bottom side of the speedway. He's got Matt DeLorenzo alongside of him, and now DeLorenzo watches the 44 of Perrego shoot down low. So Anthony Perrego, driving to Montgomery, New York, works the low lane through turns 3 and 4. And off the corner they come. He's right there with DeLorenzo, but DeLorenzo motors around the top. How about Erick Rudolph? Rudolph just shot by Susice to take the 2 spot away.
Yep, Susice, that's no surprise whatsoever. Erick Rudolph may look like he's tired when he's sitting out in the start-finish line, but he's wide awake when he goes up on the wheel.
So Erick Rudolph challenging, looking to get something going here to challenge the 19 of Jessey Mueller. But Mueller pulling away a little bit here as Susice and Rudolph go to battle once again into turn number 1. And those two were battling out on Friday night at the Ransomville Speedway off the number 2 corner. Rudolph and Susice, about 2 car lengths separate them. Matt DeLorenzo now contending with the number 44 of Anthony Perrego. Don't look now, but here comes Alan Johnson in the 14J. Johnson working his way up through. He is closing in here on the front stretch onto the 17 of Elmo Reckner.
Got to move up. He's back in the 7th position right now. Alan Johnson is. We got a yellow flag out. Car in trouble. That's RJ here on the front straightaway.
So Ronnie Johnson in the 2RJ, the Jake Spraker used car and truck with roofing, B-Dry Systems, 2RJs coasting to a stop, and we are under caution with 5 laps into this main event. Jessey Mueller, the race leader. Erick Rudolph rides in position number 2. Then it's Ryan Susice, 3rd right now. DeLorenzo is 4th. 5th will be Anthony Perrego in the 44. Then it's Reckner in 6th. 7th will be Alan Johnson. Get done for the night with the 2RJ. So 5 are in, 35 to go. Jessey Mueller out of Olmstedville, New York. And I can tell you where that is. A long way from here. I'm pretty sure I saw the exit sign coming home from Plattsburgh on Thursday. I was up at the Airborne Park Speedway for the Super Dirt Car Series event.
1 lap, that's no, because he came back out.
Anything up near Plattsburgh is a long way.
It is a long ride because there is no easy way to get back here.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
No easy way there, no easy way back.
Yeah, there is an easy way there. Take a break halfway. So here we go, 5 in, 35 to go. Jessey Mueller and Erick Rudolph, the front row. They'll be side by side here as they work into turns number 3 and 4. Again, the green, the go point here off the corner number 4 at the orange barrel, and we are back to it. We're racing one more time, and Rudolph gets a good jump. He'll look for the lead in turn number 1.
I think he's got it.
And he does have it. Erick Rudolph, at least for the moment, with the advantage. Mueller going to look back underneath as they come off of corner number 2. And here comes Alan Johnson as well. Johnson looking to go into the top 5 here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Off the corner, lap 6 going to be complete this time. It's Erick Rudolph with the advantage.
Erick Rudolph first, Mueller second, Susice third, DeLorenzo 4th, and Perrego rounds up the top 5. Alan Johnson 1 spot away from being in that top 5 position as we're working on lap number 7 this time around.
Down the backstretch, they race into corner number 3. Ryan Susice working over Jessey Mueller for spot number 2. He'll work it up on the high side of the speedway. Mueller keeps it down tight to the inside, then drifts up, comes out to the outside wall, and Susice is trying to make it go. He is not shy. He is working the high groove here at the UTICA Speedway, trying to make the middle lane now work off of corner number 2. DeLorenzo looks to his inside, and a little bit farther back in the pack, I'd say about the 10th spot, there is a cluster of cars right now, 3 and 4 wide, battling for position. So mid-pack, it is a dogfight for each spot you're going to get as they work off of turn number 4. It's led here by the 70 of Arbuthnot and the number 97 of Shantel.
That's for 10th place, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars all right there. Working the inside down the back straightaway. Look at Ronnie Davis trying to stick a nose in down there. 3 wide going to turn number 3. It's nice to be young and inexperienced.
Yeah, or young and on the throttle right now, and that is Erick Rudolph. Rudolph works it up down the back stretch as he leads the charge. He's about half a straightaway in front here as we complete lap number 10. Ryan Susice still working over the number 19 of Jessey Mueller. Mueller is up on the top side of the speedway. Susice now tries the bottom lane off of corner number 4. That's not going to get it done. DeLorenzo and Alan Johnson still the top 5 as they work into turn number 1. Perrego following Alan Johnson. I guess if you're going to follow somebody to figure out UTICA Rome, Alan Johnson would be the guy, and that's the way they'll roll down the backstretch. Susice again now into 3 and 4. He is working the inside lane on Jessey Mueller. Mueller is way up there on the edge off of turn 4.
Well, all this is happening. Erick Rudolph is just starting to stretch it out over the rest of the field as we're working on lap number 12 this time around. Alan Johnson back in 5, sets his sights on DeLorenzo down the back straightaway as he looks to the inside, going to the turn number 3. He's nearly side by side with Matty D. Matty D way up on the racetrack's edge. Meanwhile, down the front straightaway, it's Alan Johnson right on his bumper.
So Johnson on the backside of DeLorenzo as they go into turns number 1 and 2. Up to the bottom, then off the... On the bottom, then off on the top side comes Johnson. Now Johnson, he'll dive low as they go into corner number 3. Up on the outside is the number 3D of Matt DeLorenzo. They stay side by side as they come to the line, and this time Alan Johnson's going to take the spot away.
Alan Johnson trying to pick his way up through. He's going to get a yellow because right now Erick Rudolph is in another zip code as he works down between. He's coming off turn number 4, and the second place is going into turn number 3.
Traffic going to be a factor here in just a few laps for your leader, the 25 of Erick Rudolph, as he is gaining on the 111 of Demetrios Drellos. Jessey Mueller still riding in spot number 2. Then it's going to be Ryan Susice, Alan Johnson.
Trouble between 3 and 4. We got a jam up. Everybody keeps going in the right direction, but I'll tell you, that was a tough one as the 25 got together with the 17. That was Herrington and Pitcher. They nearly set themselves off the ballpark over there.
Well, everybody clean and green. Okay, off with corner number 2, so we're good there. It is still Erick Rudolph. His advantage is straightaway. Alan Johnson, meanwhile, he is working on Ryan Susice. Off at turn number 2, Alan Johnson a car length back. Into corners number 3. Now the Allen tiptoes on the bottom. Susice works it up on the cushion. And as they exit turn number 4, Susice just in front of Alan Johnson.
Yeah, they are tight together. Meanwhile, going to 1, Allen sticks a nose underneath. Nope, doesn't quite get the room as that door closes quickly.
And Rudolph now in traffic. He is in heavy traffic at the back of the pack. 3 wide. They come at us off at turn number 4 as Rudolph's up on the outside wall. He'll go by the 17 of Pitcher and the 2 of Lehner. Into turn number 1, Brian Gleason now in front of him. And Rudolph, he's going to earn his money now. It is as they are battling in front of him here down the backstretch. But so far, so good as Rudolph patiently picking his way through here in the West End. He's up alongside of Gleason. Next on the docket, the 25 of Bobby Herrington.
Well, noticing the chart right now and watching them come from the 22nd starting position, Ronnie Davis is now up in the number 11 position, trying to move into the top 10 as he's in pursuit of Ryan Arbuthnot.
And he'll close in on him. Back bumper, but we've got caution here on the Speedway. Car over the bank in turns 3 and 4. I think it's the 97 of Shantel. I didn't see it. I saw a brief glimpse of it there as they were over the bank. And it is the 97 of Randy Shantel, and it looks like he has got a right rear flat on the D&B Entertainment DJ, car number 97. Tough break for Randy Shantel. He was running just outside the top 10. Not sure how many times, though. He has limited experience here. I mean, he's been here for, he was here last week for the Super Dirt Car Series event as well. But in terms of...
Thanks for everything, Tom. Yep.
So, again, 2 laps shy of the halfway point. They're doubled up behind the UTICA pace car. Ron Julio behind the wheel of that. He'll take it to the safety of the infield as they head down the back straightaway. He makes that left-hand turn. The field goes on by, and we're getting set to go to resume this 40-lap Victoria event for the 358 King of Dirt Modifieds.
So everybody getting ready to get back on the gas as the green lights come back on, and here we go. Alan Johnson jumping up to the top side. Here it comes. AJ Slideways into turns number 1 and 2. The friendly Ford 14J 3 wide for the number 2 spot. Susice tried to sneak under Mueller, and Alan Johnson takes position number 2.
4th to 2nd with a bonsai outside move off 2, and Johnson is now up to the number 2 spot. He's in pursuit of Erick Rudolph.
So Alan Johnson is working his way up through this one. Now Anthony Perrego looks to the outside. Perrego working to the high line, and Marc Johnson looks under him, and Marc Johnson side by side with Perrego. That's the race for spot number 5. Perrego's got it for now. Here they come off the turn, halfway home this time.
Coming across the line. Look at this. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Perrego on the outside. Johnson on the bottom. Susice in the middle. Perrego trying to come up with that number 4 position, but Johnson hangs on off of 2.
Down the backstretch, that battle works into turn number 3. Anthony Perrego and Ryan Susice battling one another side by side. And Perrego gets up off the bottom, and Marc Johnson, home track experience, starting to play a factor for him as he is marching his way to the front. Marc Johnson now sits in spot number 4, but so far nobody has got anything. For Erick Rudolph, Alan Johnson is hanging with him. He's not letting him get too far away, but what has Alan Johnson got? Well, we'll find out. We got 18 laps to go as Rudolph comes to the line.
Well, about a 1.2-second lead for Erick Rudolph over the 14J of Alan Johnson. Jessey Mueller now a distant third. Marc Johnson fourth, trying to close on in, and Perrego rounds out the top 5. Susice back in 6th. DeLorenzo in 7th. Arbuthnot 8th. 9th is going to be Randy Chrysler, and Neil Stratton rounds out the top 10.
And Stratton and Chrysler, they're duking it out back there for that position. As Stratton is way down low, and Chrysler that time, I think he lost the spot here coming to the stripe as they go into turns 1 and 2. They stay side by side. You can see the cameras flashing. That always means there's somebody up next to you. And Stratton now clears Chrysler on the backstretch. Rudolph, he leads here on lap number 24, and then it is the number 14J of Alan Johnson. And now Marc Johnson in the mix. Johnson has caught Jessey Mueller into turns 1 and 2. Johnson on the backside. He gives the bumper a tap on the Mueller number 19, and as they exit turn number 2 and race down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, Mueller's going to go to the outside, and Marc Johnson, he'll keep it pinned down to the bottom off of turn number 4. It's still Mueller third with Johnson fourth.
Another driver trying to come up from the back of the field is Bobby Varin up to the number 12 position. Here's we're working on lap number 25.
So still a good race back there between Marc Johnson and Jessey Mueller. Mueller goes high off of turn number 4. Marc Johnson tiptoes down along the inside lane here at the UTICA Speedway, and Mueller again just able to hold him off. But Johnson, he has got a fast hot rod underneath him as he just keeps working, waiting for Mueller to make a mistake. But so far, Mueller has not done it, has not given him the opportunity to work his way by.
One of those cases where you might be faster, but you got to get by the guy, because once sometimes you clear a guy and you just take off from him, leave him in your dust. But right now, Marc Johnson having his hands full with Jessey Mueller.
And as Erick Rudolph exits turns numbers 1 and 2, traffic lurking. He is about 5 to 8 car lengths back, and we've got caution. What's it for? So caution out, car over the bank in turns 3 and 4. I can't see it.
I couldn't see it. Sorry. End of the field very early in this race. Actually, on the first lap.
Yeah, he has work to do there. Yep. So, yeah, Varin started 31st and has worked his way up through, again, getting in as a former winner of this event. Definitely won a different version of this back when it was a 200-lap affair with sail panels and the whole works.
Yeah, it was funny how he said to us in the pits today, he goes, "You think there's a provisional for past champion night?" And we all laughed. The 3 of us did. And he used it. So, we'll try it again with 13 laps to go. Wow, that's not many.
Not many. It is winding down, Bill, winding down. 2 by 2, Erick Rudolph. He's got to be thinking something a little different seeing Alan Johnson out there. As we go back to green, Marc Johnson finally clears Jessey Mueller, and here comes the battle for the lead into turn number 1. Rudolph down low, Alan Johnson skated through the middle, Marc Johnson up to 3rd, Mueller now falls to 4th, with Perrego back there in 5th, Arbuthnot battling with Susice as they go to 3.
Check.
Way up on the racetrack is Rudolph, number 25, as Marc Johnson now puts the heat on the 14J of Alan Johnson. Susice back in the number 4 position. He's going back in position as he's going back and forth with Jessey Mueller. Mueller's 4th, then 5th, and now Susice back up to 4th.
So here comes your field, working it off the west end. It is all the 25 of Erick Rudolph here. And now Marc Johnson starting to get the Electric City Taxi Johnson Racing car number 3J. It is starting to work down in 3 and 4 on the bottom. I don't know if anybody's got anything, though, for Erick Rudolph. Rudolph in a league of his own right now here at Utica Rome as he works through the middle of turn 3, slips and slides up. Alan Johnson follows suit, and here comes Mark Johnson to the inside of Alan Johnson. Off of 4, can't quite get it done, but he is on the back bumper as they race to turn number 1.
Erick Rudolph in control right now, and I'll tell you, do well outside of row number 2. While many of the other guys who are contenders drew a little deeper back in the pack. Some have moved, some haven't. Here they come down, 31 on, 9 laps to go.
So Alan Johnson, time winding down. So if he's got anything extra left in the tank, the time to use it is coming up because Erick Rudolph is about 10 car lengths out in front of Alan Johnson, who rides second. Marc Johnson, Ryan Susice, your top 4. Jesse Mueller right now 5th. Anthony Perrego 6th. Ryan Arbuthnot 7th. 8th is Stratton. 9th will be Matt DeLorenzo, and Bobby Varin has now worked his way into the top 10 with RD3. Ronnie Davis right back behind him in spot number 11.
Well, off the turns they go. Time ticking away. We've got a 1.193 lead, almost a 1.2 second lead for Erick Rudolph over Alan Johnson. Coming off of 4, coming on down is less than a heat as we've got 7 laps to go.
Into turns 1 and 2, Erick Rudolph continues to pound it down on the bottom of the speedway through corners number 1 and 2. And we saw some extra moisture. We got a lot of rain here yesterday, and you can see the puddles down on the bottom of the racetrack. That water obviously has made that portion of the racetrack lightning quick so far here tonight. And right now, it is all Erick Rudolph as he swings off of 4 and down the front stretch. But we've got yellow again on the racetrack.
I want to go back. What's the problem? I don't know.
Turn 2, somebody's on the infield. I can't see it, though.
What's it like?
Oh.
Who is it?
I told that.
Michael Sabia in trouble over there in turn number 2.
And again, a lot of rain, and that definitely caused some issues there.
Laps will be a little bit different.
There are 33 laps down, drivers. Just 7 to go. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, Bill, who do you got in the last 7 laps here? Who are you taking?
Yeah, you know, if you're an old codger like me, you got to say, well, Alan Johnson will find a way. But you know what? That young Ryan Rudolph, he's been fast.
Yeah, Rudolph has been fast from the drop of the green flag, and that car's been fast wherever he's had it here in 2017. So we'll see if Alan Johnson or anybody else has anything for Erick Rudolph as we get ready to go back to it. Marc Johnson, Ryan Susice in that second round again. Jesse Mueller, Anthony Perrego in row number 3. As we look for a green this time off at turn number 4, 7 laps to go. Alan Johnson and Erick Rudolph on the gas, and we're racing one more time.
Marc Johnson's going to have a low line on the restart. And if he can stick it down there and Alan goes outside, Alan, nope, that's what he tried last time. But man, I'll tell you, Erick Rudolph's got so much off the turns with that power plant under him.
Here comes Marc Johnson to the inside, but we've got a car in the infield over in turn number 2. Car spun, and yellow immediately comes back on. And that lap's not going to count, and Marc Johnson's got to be really, really, really not happy.
Oh, boy.
Same lineup.
I can't see who it is. Jack Miller, maybe?
No, I think it's the 1.
No, Jason Herrington. Yep, good call. I should have let you just call it with the binoculars.
I'll read you your lineup quick from the top.
That car is...
In that event, the
one of those cases, you don't get a lot of publicity for those other tracks he wins at, but he's always a contender wherever he goes.
Yeah, wins in Western New York a lot. Ransomville, Merrittville also has some wins. He is a former the Mod Tour champion.
Right.
And if those of you are not familiar with that, the Mod Tour is Western New York, Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio. They run at places like Lernerville, Sharon Speedway, Mercer Raceway Park, places like that. Pittsburgh Motor Speedway, things like that. And our big blocks are popular out west. Just over 40 modifieds were in attendance. Jeremiah Shingledecker picked up the win. That's just fun to say.
I love that name.
That is fun. Yeah. First time he's won a main event in 4 years.
Really?
Yep. Just to give you a, useless fact.
Single-decker.
Yes, Bill. Bill.
Thanks.
Doug.
Thanks. Well, last year when we were at the World Finals, we talked to some of the Western Pennsylvania guys, and we don't get to see them very often. And they were just so excited to get some publicity and some recognition and some notoriety, and they were really nice guys to talk to.
I want to say hello to everybody listening at home and watching at home on DirtTrackDigest.tv. Hope you're enjoying yourself as we've got 7 laps remaining here in our Victoria 40 for the Modifieds. Erick Rudolph, Alan Johnson, Mark Johnson, your top 3 as they look to come back to green flag racing action here off of turn number 4. Green lights come back on. We're back underway.
Single file restart with 7 laps to go. Now Mark Johnson looks to the outside of Alan Johnson going to turn number 1. Alan glued to the bottom this time. Mark alongside of him as they come out of turn number 2. Mark Johnson trying to mount the charge into turn number 3.
What a battle here. Mark Johnson looking for the number 2 spot. He skates up, slides up, catches the cushion. Alan Johnson down low as they come off at turn number 4 to the stripe. It's Mark Johnson by a whisker over Alan Johnson as they go into turn number 1, both chasing the number 25 of Erick Rudolph. And now Mark Johnson found something on the top side. He's into the number 2 spot.
We got 5 laps to go this time around. On lap 34, in the outside off of turn number 2, it was Mark Johnson going up to the number 2 spot.
So Mark Johnson into second, Alan Johnson still there for third, Susice fourth, Mueller fifth, with Perrego riding back there in spot number 6. As time begins to wind down, Mark Johnson, he's searching. He is trying to find something to catch the number 25 of Erick Rudolph. Rudolph, though, unfairly for Mark Johnson, had a little bit better starting position in this one as Mark started in spot number 11 and Rudolph started in spot number 4. Johnson is quick, but again, not a lot of laps to get it done here. 36 are in. We'll have 3 to go next time by.
Well, right now watching the battle back in the field for that number 8th and 9th position between Stratton and 87 and Ronnie Davis in the 1X as he's gotten by Bobby Varin to shuffle Bobby back to the number 10 position.
So Johnson holding his own with Erick Rudolph at the front. But Rudolph is so strong off of turn number 2. He is hard to catch as Mark Johnson is keeping the distance about the same. He's not letting Rudolph get away from him, but he is going to have a mile to go this time. So 2 laps to go this time by for Erick Rudolph.
Coming on down, Erick Rudolph looking for his first win at the UTICA Speedway on this King of Dirt 358 special. Off of turn 2, he continues to lead. He's got himself an 1/8 of a second lead last lap. Let's see if Mark can close it up at all, but that's almost a second to make up in 2 laps. That's going to be a tough thing to do. Trouble down the back straightaway as we got a battle going back down there. Arbuthnot starting to fade just a little bit.
So 1 to go for Erick Rudolph into turns number 1 and 2 as Rudolph looks to pick up the victory here in the King of Dirt 358 Modified Series. Final time down the backstretch through turn number 3. Rudolph with the advantage. Mark Johnson dives down low. He tries one more time, but off of turn number 4, the win is going to go to Erick Rudolph.
Second place is Mark Johnson. Third is Alan Johnson. Fourth is Ryan Susice. Fifth will be Mueller. 6th, Perrego. 7th, Stratton. 8th, Arbuthnot. 9th, Davis. And completing the top 10 will be Bobby Varin.
It was a good race. Where did Parker end up?
So, complete out, Erick Rudolph got the win. Mark Johnson, 7/10 of a second behind. Alan Johnson 3rd. Ryan Susice 4th. Jessey Mueller 5th. Anthony Perrego 6th. Neil Stratton 8th. Ryan Arbuthnot 7th. Ryan Arbuthnot 8th. 9th is Ronnie Davis. 10th is Bobby Varin. 11th is Matt DeLorenzo. 12th was Jeremy Wilder. 13th was Reckner. 15th, Jordan McCreadie. 16th, Mike Mahaney. 17th, Tyler Meeks. 16th, Meeks, 17th is Chad Phelps. 18th is Brandon Sweet. 19th is Jack Mueller. 20th was Randy Shantel.
X, 00, 3D, 97W, 17, 9, 88M, 28, 19X, 24, then the B16, 37A, 97, 55R, 7S, 1H, 17.
So the top 3 headed to the scales. Make sure they make weight before they make their way over here to victory lane. So Erick Rudolph comes home with a win. Mark Johnson, he gave it all he had there in the second half of that race. Oh, so close at the conclusion of it.
And Alan Johnson rounds out your top three, and we'll get them over here and get a word with all three of them. Down here in Victory Lane on the front stretch.
Oh, did he hit it a ton? Yeah.
I jumped off the helmet. that was a little more scary to see.
So Erick Rudolph pulls the Blue Cross Blue Shield, Fox Racing Shots, Crown Benefits, National Maintenance Contracting Corporation, Tim Hortons sponsored. Number 25 down here in UTICA Speedway Victory Lane, his first career win here at Utica Rome. And we'll wait for him to climb out of the car here. Come on, Dave. Get the sign out there. There you go. So we're waiting him. Ladies and gentlemen, he's out. Let's put your hands together for the King of Dirt 358 Modified feature winner, Erick Rudolph. Well, Erick, congratulations, and hey, welcome to Utica Rome Speedway Victory Lane. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. We've been running here for a number of years, not consistently, but this is the first one we've got here, and to have it with this team here, with all the great supporters in the car, and then the car owners and all the team, this is all for them.
Talk about that race a little bit there. Early on, you got through the lead in a hurry. I mean, it seemed like the lanes opened up when you needed them to.
Yeah, you know what, we got fortunate with our fourth place redraw there, and we kind of sized up the top three there, and found a line that the car liked, and just kept doing it. I was hoping for no cautions, and hopefully no one was coming. I don't know how close they were or anything, but the car was handling real nice, and like it says, just real proud of my team.
You talk about the cautions there. It seemed like the cautions you did get fell at the exact the exact perfect time you needed, as you were just starting to get into the thick of that heavy traffic at the back of the pack.
Yeah, you know what? The lap traffic, came an issue for a few times, especially since I found a line in my car like, but everyone was fighting for the bottom and 1 and 2, so it's tough to pass down there. But you know what? I'm glad to see that they had a full field for head consies and everything for this race, for the inaugural King of Dirt series and whatnot. So just glad to be a part of the inaugural event and glad to get the win here.
All right, Erick, another job for you. I think we got the 50-50 girls. So I'll have you draw that for a winner. Where are we at? What do we got here? How many tickets? All right, for $506.
Tip it that way.
First ticket, you can either draw 3, Erick. So first ticket is a green ticket, 0616763. Oh, 2 more, Erick. 0616763. That's for $506. All right, this is for a Apple Betty's gift certificate, yellow ticket, 0818417, 0818417. And the third one, the Black Stallion gift certificate, yellow ticket, 0818342, 0818342. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a hand one more time. Modified feature winner, Erick Rudolph. We're going to win with second place finisher, Marc Johnson. Marc, I think you threw everything you had at everybody to work your way up through, man. I think this was a byproduct, maybe that redraw putting you a little bit farther back than you needed to be.
Yeah, it's I didn't like that redraw, obviously. Had my work cut out for me. I gave it my best, and we came up one short.
Tell you what, though, you really worked for this one. I mean, you had to pedal the car in a couple of different lines that may not have been the most opportune lines out there on the racetrack, but you were still able to get up through.
Yeah, I was going for it, and just didn't work out for us tonight.
Any folks you got to thank?
I got to thank all my sponsors, Boston Mechanical's here, Apples, and Griffin's Motorsports, and everybody that gives me a hand and gets me into this point.
Give a hand, race fan. Second place ever here tonight, driving the 3J, Marc Johnson. And we'll grab a word of third place finisher, Alan Johnson. And Alan, hey, right there in the mix of things, right up to the end of this one. And just like Marc, man, I think I saw you run about 47 different lines out there, trying to find something to catch that 25.
Yeah, really were. There was really only a couple good lines, but you had to try everything. I don't know, just come up a little short, which, Can't thank my crew enough. You know, it gave me a great car. Just you know, kind of faded towards the end there.
Now you're a guy, you know, Mark too, that runs big blocks here. How different was it getting around this place in the small block and having kind of that change thrown at you?
It's not really a lot different. You know, you search for the fast lane. You know, tonight it was pretty typical. So you know, ran our normal line basically.
Any folks you'd like to thank?
You know, just the guys that helped me out. That came tonight, Bobby and what's your name? Joe. That's when you get up to 60, you know. You'll find out one of these days.
I'm sure I'll forget.
Yeah. But, you know, thanks to the guys. And the guys that sponsored me, you know, Friendly and Conway Farms and, you know, MCS Motorsports and, you know, everybody that helps.
Give a hand, ladies and gentlemen, again, third place ever here tonight for AJ Slideways, Alan Johnson. So the win to the 25 of Erick Rudolph. Second to the 3J of Marc Johnson, and third to the 14J of Alan Johnson. And with that, Bill Fuller, I'll send it back upstairs to you. Believe we got the lineup here on our Pro Stock main event.
We do, Michael. And getting set to go. Congratulations to Erick Rudolph. Nice run from Marc Johnson and Alan Johnson as the inaugural King of Dirt 358 Victoria Series, Victoria event in the house tonight. And again, the King of Dirt 358s, King of Dirt Sportsman, King of Dirt Pro Stocks, and our own Gates Coal Insurance Big Block Modifieds, all back in action on August 20th. Mark it on your calendar. Might be a little bit of a long night, but it'll be well worth attending as we'll have a sensational field of race cars here in the pits that night. A lot of guys, several guys doing double duty, I would think.
Tell you what, Ronnie.